my light keeps going off in the office, so I have to go like that to...
Good evening and welcome to Success in the City. My name is Helen Webster. I'm with the lovely...
Des Flanagan, standing in for the lovely Sandra Scott, and our guest this week is...
Karl Starkey.
Hey.
Well done.
Hey,
Thank you, Karl, for joining us. Karl looks like he's proper nice little gaff there, Karl. Lovely. Looking good.
Yeah.
So we will find out more about Karl as we go along. But the first thing we do is we shout out to the kids, any young people who've done fabulous things this week. But we haven't been here for a couple of weeks, so maybe could be over the past few weeks. So do you want to go first, Des, or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to my mate's grandson, little Bobby Dwan. He's only 7, and he's smashing it in sports. He's doing well for his football team. He's playing for Nicosia, and he's putting goals in left, right, and centre. But he's doing really well, Callum, with the running.
Oh, brilliant!
And he's not. He was telling me today he's not 3 minutes off his personal best. He's only 7, wow. And he's doing a 2K in 9 minutes.
Wow!
And they've got him training with the 9 to 15-year-olds now. So watch to watch, and he's doing well academically as well. So bit of an all-rounder, you know.
Little all-rounder, well done.
So well done, Bobby Dwan.
Yeah, definitely well done to Bobby.
Yeah.
I'm going to shout out to Hannah and James Walker, who we had a lovely day on Sunday. So we should have been going pumpkin picking, but the storm was coming, so the weather was going to be awful. So we cancelled pumpkin picking and we went to the pictures instead. So we went to see Wild Robot. So that was hilarious. So we just had a lovely little day with them, and they're just gorgeous. So I'm going to give a massive shout out to them. And our beautiful Ben, who was our very first guest on the show. Ben, so football with Ben. Yeah. Well, he's in 6th form now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's in 6th form. He had his little suit on for 6th form. He looked dead handsome on the photograph that his mum had put on Facebook, you know, and he's just come on massively. Anyway, it was the 6th form open night, and he volunteered and got up and did a speech.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Which I just think is absolutely fantastic.
It's
so
good,
everything he's overcome, his confidence and everything. So massive shout out to our beautiful Ben. I just think it's ace. So well done, and keep shining like the star that you are.
Well done, Ben.
Who are you shouting out to, Karl?
So you sent me that list of what last night about what we go through. Do you know what? And I was thinking, I haven't had much interaction really with children in the last few weeks. But even though I've got loads in my family, but on our family WhatsApp group, my sister put the other day, my niece Emily, she's just started at uni. I think she's going to Edghill. And she's just been approached and been asked by the staff there to be the point of contact for all the students in her year, so that before the way I understand it, before students go to the staff with their problems, she's like the student point of contact, where she takes the information, and she's the liaison between students and to facilitate getting things done. And you know, it's a big responsibility.
Yeah, that's mega. That's absolutely
brilliant.
Our
Emily's, I think it's quite good.
Yeah, massive well done to Em. Yeah, that's massive. That's really good. Brilliant. Well done, Em, and hope university goes well for you. Sounds like it's going to, because you sound really amazing. So that's fabulous. Success this week for you personally, or over the past few weeks. Des, what's been your success?
I don't think I've had one this week.
Yeah.
No. Well,
you must have had one last week, Des.
Last week I got another council job in, which is a success, I suppose.
Well,
but yeah, nothing this week. council job last week. There you go. Which is okay.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah. What about you, Karl?
Today, actually. So the office moved today. So moved from the office that we had in Waterloo.
Yeah.
And I'm now just by the new Everton Stadium, just by the Taipan restaurant.
Oh, brilliant.
So office moved today. So been up early. Yeah, had a couple of lads come with a van, and yeah, we managed to get it done in a few hours. Loads of stuff, but it's done.
Brilliant.
Oh, good.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight after your busy day.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. So whereabouts are you now, Karl?
So just by the Taipan, there's like an office block over the road from the Taipan.
Oh, okay.
The bottom of Boundary Street. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Boundary.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. So it's all good.
All good. So my success is that I started uni. I'm still alive. And we've had an amazing time in school with all of our young people, and it's half term next week. So we're looking forward. Everybody's looking forward to that. And what else have I done? I think that's it.
What uni are you going?
So I'm in Liverpool John Moores doing leadership and management degree. So it's just surviving because I haven't been in education for myself for that long, and I never went to uni when I was younger. So for my 50th birthday, I decided that I'd go to uni, which is hilarious. One of the kids went, "Aren't you a bit old for that?" I said, "No, you're not." I said, "You're never too old to learn." So we were laughing. But yeah, because it's getting your head around, like, how they use the library, and everything's online now. So it's just getting your head around all of the bits and pieces that you've got to do. But I'm excited, and it's going to be amazing. I know it is.
Cool.
Yeah. So there you go. And we're going to play this or that, Karl. Okay. Des, do you want to go first?
Okay. Right, Karl, what would you rather have in your back garden, right? Would you rather have an apple tree and an orange tree, or a vegetable patch growing carrots, onions, potatoes?
A vegetable patch.
Okay.
Yeah, vegetable patch for me.
Yeah.
Only because I'm a savoury person, not a sweet.
Yeah, and a veg patch for me as well.
Yeah, I think you can be a bit more versatile, can't you, and do a bit more with a veg patch.
Hey, do you know what? I was driving to Southport on Sunday, and along the coast road, I'm sure there's an apple tree growing out the side, by the sand dunes.
Is there?
I'm sure there is.
There might be. There might be.
So if you're going out that way, have a little look.
Have a little look.
I'll have another proper look this Sunday, but I'm sure it's an apple tree. Yeah. I thought, wow, how random's that,
Get the apples in for duck apple.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, get your duck apple and your pumpkins.
Definitely. So, Karl, would you rather have a lifetime supply of chocolate or a lifetime supply of crisps?
Crisps.
Oh,
Des?
Chocolate for me.
Yeah, chocolate for me, 100% on Starkey.
Dear me, yeah.
Cool. Go on, Des, your go.
Okay, what would you rather present? A game show with contestants or question time with a panel and audience? Helen, ask you that first.
A game show. You'd have more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just
to
trying
What about you, Karl?
Come on.
Question time.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
What about you, Des?
Oh, definitely a game show. Yeah, have a laugh, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Mind 100%. You, have a laugh on question time the way it's going as well. But yeah. Anyway, go ahead, help.
tomorrow we're going to on an end of term reward day. So we're going on an outward adventures day.
Is that code for going on the ale?
No, we're taking the kids.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we're taking the kids on a day out. So Karl, would you rather do the go ape high top in the trees where you clip on and then you go like you walk through the trees and you do what are they called? Zip lines and slides and things, or would you rather do the Segway, which is the little thing which you stand on with 2 feet and you whiz round?
I wouldn't like either. I don't like heights.
Yeah.
And I think I'd be a bit of a, Bambi on one of them. I think I'd fall off it. So I'd probably the Segway, only because the heights are.
Yeah. What about you, Des?
What was the first one, Helen? The zip wire, did you say?
So you clip yourself on and then you go like you walk through the treetops, so they have like rope bridges and cargo nets and things.
Yeah.
You clipped, you've got like a little like a harness on, and you clipped onto the rope, and then they have a zip line and other bits and pieces. Or the Segways, which are the little.
Oh no, the first one, the treetop one. I'd like that.
On the treetop.
I'd like to have a go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be interested in that.
Yeah. So I've done both. I've done both before, and
have you?
Yeah. I've done a Segway a few times. Segway's brilliant. It's great, but I'm not great with heights anymore. I used to be great, and I think the older you get, the more you sort of. But you clipped on, and I surprised myself at how okay I was once I was high up there, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I'd say the treetops for me. Des has pressed something on his camera there, Des.
Something's going on here. Hang on.
We can still hear you though, Des, so don't swear.
No. As if I'd do that.
Hey, he's back.
Yeah,
well
I'm back.
done, Des.
Sorry, I'm on my phone tonight. It's
I know.
I thought I'll go on the phone. There'll be no problems, dear me. Anyway.
What's your one, Des?
Right, last one from me. Would you rather? You've got to run a 5K. Would you rather do it on a treadmill in the house in comfort, watching the telly, or outside in the pouring rain? Karl, it's lashing down. Don't forget, if you're doing it outside.
Yeah, comfort of the house, telly. Yeah,
in the house watching the telly. Okay, what about you, Hel?
Outside in the pouring rain, 100%.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest. I love running in the absolute dancing down rain. I love it.
Yeah.
What about you, Des?
I used to love running in the rain. I used to love playing footy in the rain as well.
Yeah. And singing in the rain.
Singing in the rain, yeah. But no, the rain for me. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, my last one. Karl, do you prefer Halloween or bonfire night?
Joe, I was talking to my mate about this the other day. I don't do either. If you had to choose, though, I would go with the bonfire night because of the history behind it. Halloween's an American thing.
Yeah.
Bombing night's British.
Bombing night. What about you, Des?
Yeah, I think you've got to go back to when you were a kid. I mean, I think I preferred bombing night when I was a kid. Yeah. The fireworks and the bonfires and that, rather than Halloween, which was just duck apple, really, wasn't it?
Duck apple, bob apple, trick or treat.
Yeah.
Penny for the guy.
Penny for the guy was bombing night, wasn't it?
Penny for the guy. Yeah.
I remember when I was. It's a red face for you, but I was only about 6. We went, Lingmel Road, where the Royal Oak pub was.
Yeah.
Well, we lived in Lingmel, and me and my mum, we were walking around to the shops. I was only tiny, and there was 2 lads there, doing penny for the guy, and the guy's head was a football, And they said penny for the guy. And I said to my mum, I went, give them a penny. I said, that football's worth well more than that.
Do you think they were selling it? Yeah.
I was about 5 or 6.
Talking about that. So, you know, hard-faced kids, you know, the Asda in Walton. We come out of there one year, and it was just a face drawn on a ball. And the ball wasn't even inflated. I thought, oh, come on, at least try, you know, at least try. I'd give them the £1 for the cheek, you know.
To buy a new footy.
I was out. I watched the football. I watched the football on Sunday in the Coburg, at the bevy in the Coburg. One of the lads in there, he came in. He said, "I was in town today." He said, "I was in JD." He said, "And these two kids," he said, "they must have only been about 11." He said, "They must have saved up doing penny for the guy." He said, "They came in with this bucket full of slummy." And he said, "They bought this like pair of training, 140 quid." He said, "There was just like," he said, "they just come in with what they saved up doing penny for the guy." He said, "It was proper old school. It was like old school kids coming in, you know, and this cashier's like, what's all this change here?" And they were made up. They managed to make enough for a pair of trainees.
Brilliant. That's ace, isn't it? Because it's all like cards now, isn't it? And contactless and stuff. So that's great, isn't it? That they've got all that money and taking it in. It's mega, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So our lovely Karl is with us this evening. Karl has done loads and loads of stuff. Karl, I'd like you to start with who you are, what you do, and then I want you to go back to when you were in school and how you got to doing what you do now. And we'll mention the Thin Blue Line and everything else as we go through. Because that's how we sort of originally met each other. So Des knows Karl really well as well. So it'll be lovely. Des and I will interrupt with questions, probably at the same time, because that's what we do, isn't it?
Exactly.
So over to you, Karl.
Mr. Starkey.
So Karl Starkey, Resolve Legal Solutions is what I'm doing now. What does that do? So I basically do private investigations. So private investigator, and I do legal services for law firms, accountancy. So do process serving, people tracing, asset tracing, bits of surveillance work, anything investigative really. I suppose the USP for what I do, puts me aside from the others, is my forensics background that you know about. So I offer kind of forensic support, stroke consultancy that not a lot of other private investigation firms have.
Yeah. So when you were in school, how did you get from school to starting out in forensics?
So I hated school. I always bunked off school. I was a bit of a pain. Hated it, rebelled, couldn't wait to get away, couldn't wait to leave. So basically, I left school with 1 GCSE. I only got technology, didn't get nothing else. And I wanted to get away from home. So left school, joined the military, joined the Royal Navy, and I was made up. And I joined to do what I loved doing, which was cooking. So I joined as a chef, did my first 4 years in the Navy as a chef, shoreside, shore establishments and at sea. And then the Navy is different to the Army and the Air Force, whereas you couldn't join in the police. You can join the Army as a red cap. You can join the RAF in the RAF police. The Navy, you couldn't. You had to have had a minimum 4 years in the trade. I suppose they wanted you to have lived the life before you become a copper, so you'd understand not everything's black and white. There's always a big grey area, and you can deal with things. So, you know, we were always more mature coppers in the police side of things, because ultimately we have to live with the people that we're investigating.
Yeah.
You know. So, transferred over to the police, went through uniform policing duties. I then did my detective exams and trained and went into the Special Investigations branch, which is like the military CID. It is complex crime. And then it's when I was there, I did my CSI training, and I like CSI. I like forensics. I got the flavour for it. So then, for my last 5 years, I did 18 years. My last 5 years, I got seconded over to the army, and I worked in the army's forensic unit. It was a dedicated forensic unit, and we just did forensic support globally for investigators. We would attend serious scenes globally. We do all the post-mortems, just anything. We were a very specialised forensic unit. Then I left the military 2018, and to be honest, my first year out of the military was tough. I struggled to adjust to civilian life. It was very tough. And then I eventually, after a year outside, I went and worked in the National Trust call centre in Bootle. It's in Bootle, the call centre. So I worked there for 2.5 years. When I taught at Hewberg College for a year on the public service courses, and then set up Thin Blue Line. I decided I wanted to work for myself, and that was like 2.5 years ago. I've been in business now, and that's gone through different phases through Thin Blue Line, doing the different things, schools, all that kind of stuff.
Karl, before you get on to the different phases on Thin Blue Line, rewind again, because you were a chorister in the Liverpool Cathedral Choir, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
Which I think that's quite cool.
I was the little rebel in the choir. I was this little pain in the ass scally who had a really good choir voice. So, but yeah. So yeah, I was in Liverpool Cathedral Choir, the Anglican Cathedral. But my voice broke.
You went all over the place with them, didn't you?
When I was in the choir, we used to go on every summer, July, we'd finish school, and we used to always go away for a week. But when I was in the choir, it was always the Isle of Man. We went to the Isle of Man for a week every year, and we loved it. We went to King William's School because it was a boarding school, so all the kids were not there. So we used to sleep in their dorm, right? And then, but now, fast forward, I leave the choir, and nowadays they wouldn't even, they go international, they're international.
Yeah.
But you know what? I wouldn't change it. If someone said to me, would you have swapped the Isle of Man for Japan? No, probably not, because the Isle of Man was great.
Yeah. And it's who you're with, isn't it? It's always like who you're with and what you're doing, isn't it?
You used to sing at the services, didn't you?
Yeah, so when I was in the choir, we used to sing. I was there 5 days a week. So after school on a Monday, Tuesday, Friday. So go to school then. This is when I went to school, when I was in junior school. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then I was there all day Saturday, Sunday. So it was a big commitment.
Yeah.
And it was when I was in the choir. Listening. When I was in the choir, that's where
Karl, Leon's listening, and he says, "Yes, big Karl Starkey." So give a shout out to Leon McGowan.
All right, Leon.
Hi, Leon.
Yeah. So it's when I was in the choir. It's only now. You look back on it. When I was in the choir, that's when I was having all the values instilled in me that I would need later in the. I found going into the military quite easy. I kind of wanted, even though I hated school, I needed structure. I needed someone to tell me what to do. And I'm still like that now. I like being in BNI because I like the structure. I like the I'm all about that. It's how I am as a person.
So when you went into the Navy, so you went into the Navy, you spent 4 years as a cook or a chef. How did you originally get into cooking? Did you do that before you went in, or did they offer different placements for you to go to?
So the reason I liked cooking when I was at home. So, but part of the reason I wanted to join the Navy is my stepmom Maria, her brother Chris. He was a cook in the Merchant Navy.
Right.
Now I'm from a big family, and we'd always have family parties, and I used to love. And Chris would always do the catering, still does.
Yeah.
Um, I used to love being in the kitchen with him, and we'd be cooking for it, prepping it all, and he'd be telling me about the stories. Oh, when I was in the Merch, we used to go to Hong Kong, and I was like, I
Yeah.
want some of this. I don't want to be here in Liverpool. I want to get away, and that's why I kind of did it. I was kind of living the life that Chris was telling me all about.
Brilliant. So you did your 4 years as a chef.
Yeah.
How did you find out about because we've spoke about this, that that there's a military involved, and is it just accessible, or did you know about that before you went in? Did you think, well, I'm going to progress and go into the military, the police, sorry, while I'm in there? Or
No, I hadn't even considered any kind of career in the police when I joined. It's only that, after 3 or 4 years, I knew that I didn't want to spend 22 years in a galley.
Yeah.
I knew that that wasn't something I wanted to do for my time. And I suppose I was looking around, because you can job change, you can transfer, retrain. And I just liked, watching, the role of the master at arms on the ship. I used to watch master at arms, and thought, you know what, that's kind of a response. Everyone looked up to him, and and I thought it's a position that I want to really kind of get to.
so what's different with the military police and then our police? Do you just do military crimes, or do you get involved in civvy street as well?
So the military police is what it is. It's there to police predominantly the military community. There are certain occasions where we have jurisdiction over civilians, and that will be in places like Germany's a good example. It's kind of closed down much of Germany now, but when it was all up and running, and the army were all over it, in Gütersloh and Paderborn and everywhere, and the soldiers would have the families living with them on the married quarters. The families and the children came under military jurisdiction, as well as the local police as well. So so there is circumstances, but primarily we're there to police military communities, Army, Navy, Air Force, but globally. And if things happen in the UK, generally speaking, so the example, when I transferred, I was posted first down in Plymouth, at the police headquarters in Plymouth. So overnight, I would be out patrolling the street on Union Street in Plymouth, working with Devon and Cornwall police officers who we knew, because we were on the street, and we were just there if military, two Marines were fighting, we would deal with, deal with however it needed to be dealt with. And their police officers would come to our assistance, and likewise, we would assist Devon and Cornwall police if there's a bunch of civvies fighting. We would always go over and give them a hand. We wouldn't just stand by and watch them getting, So, but yeah, but whereas, Merseyside police are here to police everything that happens in Merseyside, and you'd have your constabularies and their jurisdictions primarily in there. The military police jurisdiction is globally, so if a ship pulls into Dubai and someone starts fighting ashore in Dubai, in the streets, we can still deal with them under the law of England and Wales.
Yeah. Where's the most exciting place that you were deployed to?
So, well, everyone now knows about this place. So I was lucky enough to deploy twice to Diego Garcia. So everyone's heard in the last few weeks, oh, we've handed the Chagos Islands over. It's been in the news, hasn't it? The Chagos Islands.
Oh, yeah.
So I spent the whole of 2011 in Diego Garcia. I went for a year. And then I went back the following year in about the September 2012 and went there for 6 months. And yeah, so you're seconded over to work for the Foreign Office and you get sworn in as the local police, and we're there primarily to police the American population because it's a big US military installation. The Americans, the Filipinos, the Mauritians. There was only 45 British servicemen on the island to do the.
Well, Karl, where is that?
So it's in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It's like a little tiny dot.
Right.
I suppose. I think it's south. It's 7 degrees south of the equator because there's a bar on the island called 7 degrees. 7 degrees bar.
Nice.
And I suppose if you look at India, so India's shaped like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's come down. I suppose I think it's like 1,000, 2,000 miles south of India, and then I suppose across.
But you had to go bronzy when you come back from there, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. It was. But they throughout the whole year, the sunrise and sunset always generally stayed around 7 a.m. sunrise, 7 p.m. sunset all year.
Wow, nice.
Didn't really change the sunset. And then we had monsoon seasons as well, rainy, where it didn't stop raining, torrential but the rain was dead warm and was lovely. So you just walk into it. Yeah. So yeah, everyone now knows about the Chagos Islands and Diego Garcia. Everyone's talking about it on the news, but you know, a month ago, no one even knew what it was.
Yeah. But
so was it a bit Karl, like a secret type mission then?
Oh, sorry.
Was it what?
Was it like a secret mission, or did people know that you were there, or was it just only military people knew you were there?
No, people knew I was there. It's just a British. Well, it was British sovereignty, and we leased it to the Americans to use as an installation.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's lots of different stuff there. You know, it's very strategic. It's a very strategic place. Like, you know, I'm not here to put a political view over this, but it's a strategic place, as important, or if anything, more important than Gibraltar and Cyprus and Falklands. You know, but yeah, I don't want to get into a political.
Yeah. So Karl, how did you get into the forensic side of it? Because that fascinates me. That forensics.
Yeah. So it's when I was at the Special Investigations Branch. I was just a detective and investigator in there, and we had to have so many people trained as CSIs, so that when we deployed out to a job, we had people who were trained to do it. So I did my training when I was in the SIB, and I just really got I really enjoyed it. I got like the taste for it, you know. Just every job was very different, even though you were maybe, you know, a fingerprint job and a fingerprint job, but you know, it's that's the beauty of policing, really. You know, one assault job against another assault job. Okay, it's the same. You're investigating the same offence, but it's very, very different. You know. You're investigating different circumstances and different evidence and different.
Fascinating stuff, mate.
So, as a forensic, do you specialise in? So, do they have sort of like fingerprint forensics? Do they have blood forensics, or do you do like a little bit of everything?
So, as a CSI, so the CSI job is pretty much to go to the scene, and you're trained to basically identify something. So you need to be trained to identify and locate it, and to know how to recover it properly, package it properly,
Yeah.
and then basically transport it and store it properly. So that's pretty much what CSI's job is in a nutshell. And then you know how to write your reports. And then what happens then? Something needs to happen to that evidence after that. So after you get back to the office and you either store it in the dry store or put it in the fridge or put it in the freezer, depending on what it is and how it's got to be stored, it will then go to the relevant expert. So let's say it's a garment that's got blood or bodily fluid on it, and okay, we're going to send it into Cellmark and we want a biologist to examine it. Okay, so we will ensure that it gets to the expert. They will, it's a biologist who will do the examination and write the report,
Right.
and that biologist will ultimately stand in the witness box and give the expert evidence.
What's the most weirdest evidence thing that you've ever found that you can talk about before the watershed?
Right. I think the weirdest. I suppose this is a bit general, but you find that in a lot of burglaries, the perpetrators like to leave parting gifts.
Ah.
It's a little
Like to leave what, Karl?
They like to leave little brown parting gifts.
Oh, right.
A little calling card. Yeah, it's a strange one, but yeah, burglars like to poo. It's the only way to say it.
Mad, isn't it?
It's a mad thing.
You wouldn't have thought you'd have time for that, would you?
I don't know. Maybe if you get a forensic psychologist on one time, ask them what's the reason.
Yeah.
Something, yeah. Burglars like
madness.
Yeah.
It is mad, that. It is mad.
So you did your CSI and your forensics.
Yeah.
And then you were saying that when you come out, you struggled for the first year. And I know there's a lot of, I know a lot of people who've been in the services and the forces and everything who are used to having that. You were saying before that you like the routine, you like to be told what to do. And then you come into Civvy Street and life doesn't work the same. And there's a lot of people who sort of struggle a little bit. What were your struggles and then how did you overcome them?
So I was medically discharged. I never did all my 22 years. I got kicked out at 18 years. So I was medically discharged with PTSD and I've got bipolar.
Yeah.
So before in 2000, I left January 18. 2016, when I was with the army, I got put in a psychiatric hospital in Basingstoke to, for my own safety. I was going through a bad time for a couple of years in the run up to getting discharged. And when I did get discharged, like looking back on it, I was actually talking to someone before about it. There's like a 2-year period in my life where I can't really remember a lot. So when I came out, I was applying for. I had a great CV, and I was applying. I must have applied for hundreds of jobs, and it gets demoralising when you don't hear back from anyone. No one even writes to say you're not successful. Give me some feedback, and I understand they can't do it for everyone. So I was, but looking back on it, if I would have got a job, it probably would have been a disaster because I wasn't really. I don't like saying kicked out, but I've been kicked out. Here's this broken fella living on his own, which had its own problems as well.
Yeah.
So we'll, fast forward a little bit. I basically ended up with a gambling addiction.
Yeah.
Because I lived next door to Leo Casino, and I basically started living in the casino. Like, I was doing like 18 hour days in the casino.
Wow.
So, so I almost lost my house, lost my family, lost everyone. So my dad basically put me into rehab for 3 months in Scotland. Did the 12-step program, and do you know what? That was on the very start. Where you don't come out of rehab fixed, healed. It's just the very first stone on a big journey.
Yeah,
and do you know what? Fast forward even more. I went into rehab at the end of 2008. It came out January 2000. I spent it Christmas, New Year there. I came out January 19. Managed to get my job for National Trust in March 19. But it's only, as a bit of insight, I've literally only in the last couple of months finished a 16 session course of therapy on the NHS. I've waited for 18 months for it because 2 years I wasn't doing too good. But to be honest, I forgot I was on the waiting list, and then I got a letter in the post saying, "Oh, where's your start date?" I was like, I forgot all about that. So anyway, I've not really long finished it, and that was kind of, it was like the cherry on the icing on the cake, because I was able in 16 sessions to address things from early in my life, before I went in the forces.
Yeah.
I went into the forces with some baggage in my life, looking back on it.
Yeah.
And then, there was some things that we didn't really talk about military stuff. I said, we don't need to talk about that. And then we talked about some stuff kind of in my personal life, not my military life.
Yeah.
And do you know what? The therapy it took us about to the 11th session. And then all of a sudden, something got said, and there was a light bulb moment. And me and the therapist each other, and we said, "That's what we've been trying to find. That's the answer to the problems you've had."
Amazing.
And do you know what? Since then, I've just felt like such a better person. And and you know what? And people say this to me, "Oh, you're so different now, even in business." And I'm not perfect. I still have my bad days. And Leon's listening. People know that. But I am I'm moving on. I'm not going to mope on the past. I'm not gonna wallow in self-pity. Like, at the end of the day, I've got to take control. I've got to take accountability for myself. And you've got to forge forward and move on.
Yeah, well done, Karl. That's sound that, mate.
And thanks for sharing that, Karl. That's our tagline is ordinary people doing extraordinary things to inspire others. And we never know what's going on behind closed doors. We never know when we meet somebody, maybe they've had some challenges, maybe they're going through a little bit of a tough time. And I think you sharing that story, you were super successful in the military, you're successful in business, and you've had all that going on as well. And then, for you to take those steps, which, it's a brave thing to do. And especially, for men, it's a brave thing for men to do. It's a brave thing for men who were in the military, because it's, it's not sort of talked about, your feelings and things. And I think to then come on and share that with everybody, I think you should be really, really proud of yourself. And somebody might be listening and think, maybe that's what they need to do, or they might know somebody who might need support. And I think we are coming from a time now where, having some counselling, having some therapy, talking to each other, is a massive, massive thing. And, you know, girls do it quite well because they'll phone the mate up and they'll go, blah, 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 whatever, or, you know, they'll get together with a gang of girls. And men tend to not do it as much, but the benefit for people is just absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, I just want to say a massive, massive thanks for sharing that. And, you know, congratulations and well done to you for accepting that help and support and, you know, getting to the end of it. And, you know, hopefully, as you say, you know, it's okay to have bad days. It's normal, isn't it? That's life.
Yeah.
We haven't got to pretend that we're happy 100% of the time, because that's not realistic. So to celebrate the good days and hope that there's more good days than bad days as we go forward is an amazing thing. So massive thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm actually, I enjoyed the therapy so much. I'm actually now looking to find a therapist that I can just check in with once a month. Have like an hour session. You know, like the Americans do. Americans, they've all got a therapist.
Yeah.
You know what? They do it and they go, well, there's nothing wrong with you. And say, yeah, that's because I've seen my therapist once a month.
100%.
And some months I might say, oh, I'm having, okay, let's see. And some months we go, oh yeah, I'm fine. All right, what you want to? Let's just shoot the faff for an hour. I'll pay you.
Yeah, and it's great to celebrate the wins. You know, you might have done something through the month and thought, because I've had therapy, I've dealt with that differently. And I'm looking forward to say to my therapist, oh, you know, in the past I'd have dealt with like that. Now I know these techniques, I've dealt with it. And to share it, you know, those successes and wins is phenomenal. I agree with you, Karl. I think everybody should have a therapist or somebody that they can pick the phone up who they don't know them, they're non-judgmental, they can have a chat, they can share everything. They have it in America, you know, when kids are going from primary school to high school, that transition. They have therapy for 6 weeks before they go to high school, and it's a known thing. So they have less, you know, lots of our children are really anxious about going to a new school and a big school. They have therapy, so they're all going in on the first day going, oh yeah, high fiving, you know, and having a lovely time.
Yeah.
And when you're happy, you learn, you know, you can learn better if you're happy. So brilliant. Yeah, I'm 100% with you, Karl. I think, you know, I think it's a great shout. I really, really do. So from your forensics, you left, and thank you for sharing all of that. You then started the Thin Blue Line, which is an absolutely phenomenal thing that you were doing. So explain a little bit what the Thin Blue Line was, and then we'll move on to what you're doing now and how you got there.
So yeah, Thin Blue Line. It's still there. It's hard, really. It's a bit disappointing because for 2 years I put all my effort in, and so we had Thin Blue Line had a few things. Thin Blue Line's community CIC was what went into schools, colleges, youth groups, doing forensic programs, teaching them about forensics, which ultimately was there to reduce the risk of them getting into trouble. And Des came up with the great one. What was it? Think twice. You know.
Yeah.
Twice before you do something. Think twice, because you're going to get caught. This is how you're going to get caught. And I was teaching the forensic side of it, which was reducing the risk of them getting involved in trouble, crime, antisocial. But at the same time, I was teaching them transferable skills, communication, you know, leadership, decision making, working under pressure, all them kind of things. But also, it was the third one was potential career pathways. I was opening the mind to things that a lot of them had never been exposed to. Have you considered ever? Oh, I've never. What is CSI? No, I've never thought of the police. Yeah, but you realise you can join the police and do many different jobs.
Yeah.
Don't, you know? There's so much that you can do that you don't think you can do.
Yeah.
So that was the CIC. I also had Thin Blue Line events, which was like the team building. So used to do like corporate team building stuff. Done team building for John Moore Jr. actually, the criminology department there. Do that for Rachel Steele. So there was that, and then I was trying to do the Thin Blue Line investigations, because I did a name change to resolve. So about it was about 6 months ago, 5 or 6 months ago. I was trying to do it all. I was trying to do, and they were all, even though they're called Thin Blue Line, very, very distinct, unique to each other businesses.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was getting no traction on any of it. And I've done this for 2 years. I've put loads of money into it, put all my time and effort. And basically, I was burnt out. I was burning myself out.
Yeah.
And a mate of mine, Alison McCormack, she's been great, Alison. She said to me one day, she said, I'm really concerned. She said, you're looking burnt out. She said, you're stressed. And I was. My mental health probably was a bit like that because of what I was doing. She said, you're doing too much. She said, you're putting like 25% effort into 4 different companies. She said, and you're not getting anywhere with any of them. She said, why don't you choose one? Pick one and focus on it. She said, I'm not saying that you've got to give up on your dream of working with kids. She said, but at least if you pick one and you put 100% into it, it might go somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think this is like the Friday. So I spent the weekend thinking about it all because I was torn because I wanted to work with kids, but then I wanted to do team building for corporates. But then, so I thought, right, if I get my CV out, what's my CV all about? And to be honest, all my qualifications, it's all police and investigating forensics. All my experience is police and investigating. So I thought, well, that's my toolbox. I should be using my skills. And my skills are, I'm an investigator. I'm a forensics practitioner. So, that is really. So I chose that, Thin Blue Line investigation. So I thought, started getting all my things in place, joined the Association of British Investigators. I got advised by someone there quite soon, went to like a conference in Manchester, and I got great advice from one of the girls. We were having a beer at the end, and she says, Thin Blue Line investigations. I went, yeah. But we no, we're not past watershed. She said, that's poo. Not very good. Wow. That's not a very good name, that, She said, it's a bit Mickey Mouse, isn't it? And I didn't take offence. So she said, look, she says, in this game, the world of PI and all that, she says, if you're wanting to work with corporates and you're wanting to work with law firms, she said, your name is everything. She said, your name can kill you. She said, now, when I hear the word Thin Blue Line, the words Thin Blue Line, she said, I think of the Mr. Bean TV program on telly. She said, it's all play and it's all playful. She said, I get it. She said, but if a law firm, she says, are they really going to want to instruct someone and pay an invoice to Thin Blue Line investigations? So I went away and I thought, she said, you need to find a name that's professional, corporate. She said, you're still doing what you're doing, but she said, you need it under. So we rebranded to Resolve Legal Solutions. And you know what? Since I made the decision to focus on one, I've gone from, well, over 2 years, pretty much I didn't send an invoice out. I didn't invoice for anywhere. And in the last 5 months since I've gone down this, I mean, every week I'm sending invoices out for work.
Nice. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm actually making money.
Excellent. And your Thin Blue Line, you what you want to do with the kids. So I was really lucky enough to experience the Thin Blue Line with Everton in the community, and it was the veterans club that they have there, and Karl had gone in and he did and it was brilliant. Everybody was laughing, they were talking, it was an absolutely amazing, and I thought, yeah, I get it. And I think it's one of those things that you've got to try, and understand what it is. But that's not to say with once you Resolve Legal Solutions gets going and you're doing loads, you can then still do little bits and pieces, can't you? And get the corporates to give back to the local communities.
That's
so you will be able to do both once you've. But I think your friend was great with that advice by 100% in one is better than 25% over.
to build resolve into something where I can employ people, they can take over.
Yeah.
And maybe then I can say, you know what, I'm in a position now I can revisit the schools and get back into and build. You know, it's just, you know, I suppose some people I go, I feel like I've wasted 2.5 years of my life in business. And they go, you haven't. They said, you learn from your mistakes. And do you know what? They said, I've gained loads of experience in what not to do in business, that's for sure.
And that's the hardest thing, isn't it? You know, you've got lessons. You know, you haven't made mistakes. You've taken the lessons, and you've got a massive network of people now who you wouldn't have had if you didn't have the thin blue line, and you wouldn't have had that time to be able to say, well, you know, this is what I'm really good at, and you know, you're better in the way you are, and you know, you're in a better headspace and stuff. So everything happens for a reason, and you know, it's not to say, you know, that you can't do it again. You'll definitely be able to do both, because you'll just have people doing that, and then you can go and do what you love to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Time's flying by like super quick, but Karl, you've been amazing. We've got 5 minutes. Red face moment. Des, what's your red face?
Oh, I think you know what mine is. I fell down the stairs in your school, and half a bucket of dirty water went all over me. And the bruises have healed now, but the ego hasn't.
It's on CCTV.
Have you seen it? Is it on the CCTV?
It will be on the CCTV, but none of us looked.
Oh dear me. No. Well, if you're sure it's 250 quid, get that into you being framed.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I just thought of that. Yeah. Well, my red face is I fell asleep last week on a little dozies on the couch like that. I woke up at 8:15 and didn't do the show.
That happens, doesn't it? I know. You don't sleep unless you need it.
No, I never sleep on the couch, and I thought I'll just close my eyes for a little minute, and I went like that, and then woke up and I was like, oh yeah.
So who did the show?
Nobody. We didn't do it because I fell asleep.
Didn't Des bail you out? Oh, Des.
No, it's all off my computer. All off my computer. I know. What's your red face, Karl?
Red face. Do you know what? I always do this. I always have my flowers, look, when I'm in public. It's like, I don't know. I just can't, I don't learn my lesson. And then it's trying to, so when you're in the bar, it's trying to pull it up in a way that makes it look elegant, and you just can't do it.
You have to wear tacky bees.
Like, oh, so yeah, I always get caught out.
Oh, never mind. Shout out to the grown-ups. Any grown-ups who've done amazing things, Des?
Yeah, well, it's a series of grown-ups, actually. There's a show on the 17th of November at Old Swan Conny Club, and it's for Zoe's Place. So a shout out to Paul Price, Steve Devine, Steve Daly, Soul Jam, and Sophie Marie. I think there's one or two others as well. So forgive me if I have ever missed you out. But that's on the 17th of November, and all the proceeds are going to Zoe's Place.
Excellent. He hit the 2 million mark yesterday.
Great. The entertainers in this city are smashing, you know, when for anything like this.
Yeah.
You just get together at the drop of a hat and just put a show on and raise funds, and it's great, you know.
Excellent.
So that's the 17th of November at Old Swan Conservative Club.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm going to give a shout out to everybody who's been helping Zoe's Place, you know, so it is there's just people who are doing raffles, cake sales, everything. And so I'm going to give a shout out to everybody in Liverpool. You know, we do come together to support our own. And the minute that they said, you know, this Ian Byrne got involved, didn't he? You know, the MP, and you know, everybody stepped in, and it's all over social media. I know they hit the £2 million mark yesterday. You know, they've got a little bit more to go, but I've seen the plans for the new centre, and it's absolutely incredible and really needed, you know, in our city. And it's been here for so long. And you know, it's so valuable to the families. We definitely need to keep it in Liverpool. So well done to everybody who's doing their little bit to help out. What about you, Karl? Shout out to the grown-ups.
Yeah, you know what I've said. I've seen a lot about Zubby's place on social, and you know what, the Liverpool people don't half pull together when we need to. You know,
Yeah.
they're doing a lot for that. I think my shout out is to all that. I suppose all the adults watching this now, but all adults everywhere, and basically, you know, just to say, you know, it's incumbent on us all to ensure that the youth of today, that we put our efforts into them to develop them into be the people we want them to be tomorrow, moving forward.
Excellent.
And my shout outs to everyone, you know, use whatever skills, talents, experience we have, and give some time to the kids.
Brilliant. I love that. I love that. So I want to say a massive thank you to Des Flanagan for being my super co-host tonight, and a massive thank you to Karl Starkey, who's been fab and sharing loads with us. So massive thank you, Karl, and we wish you all the best in everything that you do. We know you'll be a massive success. So we always close the show with like a closing quote or a mantra that you live by, and we're going to hand it over to you, Karl. Something that you say or you do.
I suppose, you know, learn from your mistakes and don't make them again.
Brilliant. I love
It's a good
that.
enough one.
It's great. So we will see everybody. Oh, next week, I'm going to be doing it live from Cornwall because I'm going surfing in
Ooh.
Newquay. Yeah. So I'm going to be live from there. Hopefully, if the internet works. So yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Good
will see
stuff.
everybody next week, and happy half term to all of the teachers and everybody who works in the school.
Yeah. Nice one, Karl.
All right.
Cheers, thanks for having me on. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. See you soon.
See you later. See you soon.
See you later.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Alan.